I just turned on to 15 from Jackson. Let's go for a ride up to the holler. Yeah, so I bumped into this guy Carlos in town. He's the guy that got me a job at Hinkle. I think they fired him. Man, it's horrible. This guy was a hard worker too. Well, I was, you know, but they're a little too wrapped up on that. You're not from around here, are you? Stupid hillbillies. Yeah, so 75 minutes from home, they said, I'll put you up in a hotel room. We'll give you a per diem, $150 a week for gas. A per diem means per day. It's a daily allowance. So if they're giving it to you weekly, it's not a per diem. It's crazy. So yeah, they put me up 2-3 hours from home. I'm driving on a daily basis to get there to find out that there's no room. And I talked to my boss, who's the guy that's supposed to be putting it up, setting the room up. He's like, I don't know what to tell you. Well, you're the guy that's supposed to make the call, aren't you? You know? So I got tired of driving 3 hours one way to work a 12-hour day without a lunch break, to have to drive 3 hours back home for 4 hours sleep to turn around and make it back again. You know what I mean? Oh, okay, $30 an hour, but I mean, what am I supposed to do? Pay for my own room and board? Pay for my own gas? That's crazy. Yeah, it's a big mountain, man. I don't know how it turns out in this video, but this is a beautiful town. Anyway, yeah, I bumped into Carlos. He's like, yeah, I'm not with them anymore. What happened? I told him, man. I said, hey, man, I don't drive 3 to 4 hours to work every morning, to work all day for with no lunch break, then to have to pay for my own gas and room. That's crazy, man. They're just abusive to people down here. There's no racism here in the South, man. That's all a lie. These white people, they treat everybody like crap equally down here. I mean, there's good people here too, don't get me wrong, but I mean, overwhelmingly, the controlling families are the one that's the problem. Everybody with money's connected somehow. Man, these hills are beautiful though. Mount Carmel and War Creek. Hey, there's a Bible college up that way. You wouldn't know it from the people from the people down here, but you know. Uh-oh. These guys setting something up. All right. Yeah. Well, it seems like some of the nicest people down here, though, you know, that you'll ever meet aren't in a position to really do anything about how poorly they treat people. You know, my video I did on YouTube for white privilege got several thousand views. I picked up a lot of subscribers off of it. But you know, the interesting thing is, in places like this, when you have white communities that are broke, there's no entitlement here. They don't complain about it. They don't blame. They don't point the finger. It's just another day. It's just survival, man. They don't care what color the neighbor is. They're too busy trying to figure out how to put food on the table after Obama's EPA standards. Here's my turn right here. After Obama's EPA standards bankrupted the coal industry. But see, I noticed I get some black men usually who will agree that the problem is rich and poor. It's not black and white, which is the truth. But then you have these black women that get on there talking about, I don't feel sorry for them people. If that was my community, I'd get out there and protest. But protest what? Where are you going to put in a factory in a mountainside? You know, that's why it was the coal fields, man. That's why they call it that. You know, when you take away somebody's livelihood, what are you going to do? Blast out a mountain and put in a factory? You know, protest. What, you're gonna complain until somebody else makes your life better for you? I mean, these people are just used to it. It's everyday life to them. So, you know, you talk about entitlement and finger pointing and blaming, they don't do that here. I mean, these communities here, they'll manufacture drugs and destroy their own communities. They don't blame anybody for that. You know? But black people, boy, I don't know, always the victim. These hills are beautiful, man, but you can protest all you want. What are they going to do? Well, how are they going to make your life better? You know? I mean, the only way to move to an area like this is if you're retiring or buying a house cash. Because if you're buying something and you're getting anything financed here, something you have to make a payment on, you're going to struggle, buddy, because there's no money here. Or there is, but there's controlling families that'll only let certain other people in. And it's not race related. It's just how submissive you are and how much crap you're willing to take. You know, to put food on your table. And these people, they unnecessarily complicate things, man. You have people that show up for work, you know, and do their job. You think they'd be grateful for that. But, you know, it goes to show you how some people, you want to test a person's character, put them in a leadership position. And watch how they handle it. There's no need to talk to anybody that works for you like garbage just because you're the boss. That's just not right, man. There's people here, that's all they do is struggle. But see, that's just life, man. They don't think about it as, you know, I'm doing without. I need somebody to stand up and do something for me to make things better for me. The only person that has control over that is you. That's why typically they say that, you know, well, when I moved here, they were surprised that I moved here because they said most people who are moving out. Now check this out. Oh, there's people that live in places like that. That's beautiful over there. We got streams coming out of every one of these hollers. I know the family that lives there. It's a man and his wife or girlfriend or something. Man, I don't know what they do for plumbing, but they probably go in buckets. People out this way do that. These guys are all right. They used to recycle. They stopped doing it now, so we don't recycle cans anymore. There's no money in it. Just throw them in the garbage. It doesn't matter. All right. Now, Cope Fork. I like that. You see that big black barn up here? Up or how they say it down here. Anybody down here that tells you, oh yeah, I live in that area. I live over by that black barn. Which one? Here's the one by the suspension bridge. Which one? The South does have a lot of things going for it still, though. I mean, despite here, you know, I'm about wrapped up with my book. I'm just putting some finishing touches on it or whatever. But yeah, I'm out of here, man. I'm looking at some property right now up near Pikeville. It's foreclosure property. I think it was one of those first switchbacks here. That's kind of one of the first switchbacks. If you don't have four-wheel drive, man, this thing can be difficult. But yeah, I'm looking at a property towards Pikeville. Gotta go slow because these hillbillies, they drive like they're the only ones on the road sometime. There we go. There's a lot of shopping in Pikesville. That's where Dwight Yoakam was born, actually, I hear. There's a lot of shopping there. That would be an ideal place. It's a small town, but it's big enough so it's not like run by women and they're damn gossiping and they're fake Jesus and all this other crap with their transgender inbred hillbilly children down here, man. That I don't know what they teach, but you just don't move to a state like this or to an area like this, especially if you're looking to leave the cities for a better place and you have young children. There's something wrong with the schools here, man. I mean, don't think just because you're in the country, you're out of the woods. You know what I mean when I say that? I mean, there's great freedom here. But it also has its own challenges. It's hard to hold up a camera with that. There's something wrong with these schools here, and these women that are running the schools, they're trying to bring that transgender crap into it with rainbow stuff, and man, these dads, they'll get together and go in and tell them, no, no, no. And of course, you know, the mom, all in the name of Jesus, they're going to say, well, you shouldn't judge. You shouldn't judge, man. Saying you should not sexualize a child's education is not judgment. That's discernment, man. That comes from just knowing right from wrong. These kids that get out of school and they're just like their parents. They can barely articulate a sentence. They stand there slack jaw with their mouth hanging open when they see somebody from out of town, like you got two heads. You ever see somebody stare into a bright light or like, you know, try to look at something in the distance with the sun in their eyes? Yeah, it's like that in the evening or on a cloudy day. A switchback mic. This dude's got chickens all over the road. I don't know where they're at right now. But anyway, he's also got horses in the back over there. But anyway, it's horrible. They just stare at you. How can you have a high school diploma and not know how to complete a sentence? Good Lord, man. Yeah, this is not a place where you come to raise a family. This is where you come to move to the woods to get away from everybody. But yeah, somebody went over that little cliff there. It's a grave marker. Got a lot of stuff going on out here, man. I mean, Kentucky, I love their gun laws, man. You can go anywhere, buy a gun at a yard sale, an open carry, in Walmart. Yeah, no shoes, no shirt, no service. I see hillbillies in Walmart all the time with no t-shirt on and no one says nothing. I think it's hilarious. But yeah, I love the gun laws here, man. I let my CCP expire for Illinois. I don't think I should have to pay the state of Illinois for my constitutional right to carry a gun to protect myself in a state that they're flooding with illegals. Most of the jobs you get down here, even if they're in fast food, they don't care if you carry on the job. I mean, that's way against corporate policy, but I mean, you can carry anywhere down here. It's just nice and quiet. I wish the people were a little more friendly. I'd consider staying if they were, but man, you know, there's only so much of that, man, that I'm willing to deal with, because, you know, they're all together, you know, so they already kind of have a thing against you because you're not from around here, you're from Illinois, you're a Yankee, or whatever, right? And then they start pushing you and they start really pouring on the bullshit, and then when you end up putting them in their place, now they got one more thing to not like you for, because they're like, did you hear what he said to Jib? It's just like, hey, you know what? You guys go ahead and bang your sisters and get high on meth and let your country go, because we've gotten where we're at because of weak men and educated women. There's no turning back at this point, really. You know, you just got to kind of let the crash happen, man. But you just got to be aware and not get, not let it consume you. I will never move back to a city. This is where I want to be, in the woods. I just need a little more land, doggone it, because I need to start growing some of my own food. It's why you move to places like this. But I know I'm a little all over the road with my rant here, man. But, yeah, I like Kentucky, but I also hate it. But you know what? The hell with Illinois. I will never go back there. I got an agent from up there, sending me cheap properties. Why would I want to pay $3,000 a year in property taxes for a $35,000 house in Illinois? All right, to pay for your welfare? Yeah, these people down over here, man, don't even have a side on their house. You can see the studs from the outside. Now, a lot of that is a choice, though. These guys still have new vehicles. They go out and buy AR-15s and all the expensive, rounds to go with them. And then they won't buy a $30 sheet of plywood to put up on the outside of their house, to keep the mold out. Yeah. I don't know where the horses are. They're probably in the barn, but this guy's got a lot of chickens over here. They say that place is geothermal cooled. Do you know what that means? Like a water cooling system underground? That's kind of cool. Got all kinds of trenches here. I think we passed that little switchback where there's a little white car that went over the side. Crashed at the bottom. Meth head. These guys, they want $228,000 for that place. There's cemeteries everywhere up in these parts. But yeah, we had some downed trees from some heavy wind yesterday. Look at that. Chunks of the road washing out. Just have to be mindful of stuff like that when you move here, man. When you don't have the smog and pollution from the cities, I would almost say stabilizing the weather. Move to the mountains. Move down south, man, where you've got nothing but hills and trees. And watch how quick the weather changes. Yeah, these guys, they got a nice bit of property down there, man, but that's a bowl. That's where all the water up from my holler goes. You're supposed to get some rain today. Yeah, I've seen the water, that little bridge over there, that little Passover bridge. I've seen the water get so high here that it was washing that bridge out. Now we got some meth heads over here right at this bend. These guys, they obviously have power. They got other things going on in there. Just kind of let the garbage pile up on their property. Yeah. Lots of trees, man. They're still putting in the fiber optics. All right. Coming up on Nigger Branch. And yes, that was its legal name up to about 15 years ago. They say it had to do with it's Lower Talby Fork now. I want to say somebody told me that about 15 years ago it changed because it all had to do with a white woman. I think it was a Talby who had a baby by a black man. But whatever. You know, things have clearly changed here since then. There's a bear up in those hills over there. Looks like their little doggy. Axel, he's a good dude. He likes to run alongside of the truck. Yeah, this road gets washed out when it rains. Man. We're almost there. We got the Clampets living down here. Now see this house coming up on the left. It's a nice little bit of property. It's got a barn. Looks like it might have some acreage. There's a barn like right up there. But nobody lives in it. They keep the property up, but nobody lives in it. And it's not for sale. There's houses like that all over the South. These people, they'll get something. They're strangely territorial. If they own it, they'll let it rot. They don't want you to touch it. They don't want you own it. They don't want you near it. And they won't sell it to you. It's got to rot and become garbage before they're willing to let it go. No, suspension bridges are a bad idea. Always turn down property that requires a suspension bridge to get to your house. They collapse. They rot. Trees fall on them. And I still to this day can't get an answer on who services them. This guy, William, right here, moved here from California. One of the godliest men in this state that I ever met. And he comes from California, of all places. He slaughters pigs. He just does his own farming thing, man. He's a good dude. He's got chickens. There you go. You got a rooster there. Seems to not want to hump everything in sight like mine. These inbreds are from Indiana, and they're the least friendliest people you've ever talked to. Where's my ducks? I see you. There goes my girls. Dottie and Rooster. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get a good angle on the property from the road. Not that bad, a little over a quarter acre. More of a pie slice. It goes all the way up the road there. So, anyway, I got to take this gate down and get in. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my rant and the scenery on the drive-in. We got utility vehicles coming up and down the holler, still finishing up on the fiber optics. So, stay out of trouble. I'll holler at you later.